Welcome, it's King Lizzard on Xbox One with Forza Motorsport 6 Rivals, and the rival event today is the Battle for Bathurst. So it's a B-Class series event, this one, so you need to dig out your best B-Class tunes, and the great thing about this event, as I said, is you can race any car and any choice of tune that you want to do. There's no restrictions, so it's not a spec challenge. So what I've done here is I quite like this little DATSUN 2000 convertible, so I've maxed this out to B600, and the power in this thing is absolutely crazy. Oh, that nearly lost the back end then. But yeah, it's got so much torque in it, this thing, it's unreal. You have to really be ultra sensitive and sort of bear in mind your drive. This is my third lap round now, and I have managed to knock a second or two off in the meantime. This one is feeling pretty good, so as long as I keep this clean, I'm probably going to keep this as my final lap. It's not because it's the best lap I can do. I think I could probably do a little bit better in some of the sections I've already driven, e.g. that corner back there where I slid out a little bit, but in general it's a pretty good run. And this thing, like I said, you need to respect it while you're driving it. I am driving manual, I'm also driving with traction and STM off as well, so this thing's as lively as it can be, and it's handling reasonably okay. You just have to really gently accelerate, you know, don't slam that accelerator down or you're going to be spinning out with this thing. It is ultra sensitive and fast. Now I have put this on the creator share, so if it's something you want to check out for yourself, and I suggest you do, it's really good fun. You can get that through my creator game tag, which is King Space Lizzard, Lizzard, and you'll find this puppy. But no, really good little tune this. It maxes out top speed about 155 at best, so it's not the fastest thing in the world, but in terms of getting in and out of corners, acceleration, it is mega quick. But it's quick enough, you know, to put you in a ditch if you're not concentrating. So we're coming up to the final straight and into the finish. This third lap's nice and clean at the moment. This is going to be my good one now. Yep. So what I'm going to do is jump to another car after this, but let's see what I've got. Okay, so I managed to pull in a 2:36.065, which put me in a position of 1,323rd in the world out of 2,697 other competitors. That's only the top 49%, so I'm definitely going to have another dig at this in another vehicle. I'm thinking MAZDA RX3 time, I think, might be the next beast we take on this circuit. Let's check out this replay of this DATSUN 2000. Really good fun car, this. Love it to bits. I think this was a DLC car. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain it is. So if you haven't got the DLC, you won't have this one. But it is a car definitely worth getting. It's a really nice fun car. And with this tune on it, this B600 configuration, it is mental fast. You know, especially if accelerating out of corners and stuff, you just, like I said, you just got to watch that accelerator. It will come round on you pretty quickly if you're not careful. So, into these tight technical sections. It handled these pretty well, actually. I was quite surprised at how well it handled these corners. I thought I was going to get a lot more skid and a lot more of a difficult drive through these sections. I think I did slow down probably a little bit more than I do in this particular section here, because I was just a bit wary I might slide out, but I think the car probably has that little bit more in it through that section. I think I just wasn't trusting it as much as I probably could have done. Another nice technical section there. Now when I tuned this, I did, you know, I pretty much do what you might call, you know, 40-60 configuration. So I'm going for 40% handling and 60% speed on this case with this car, because it's, you know, it's a B-class car. I really wanted to try and get as much out of this little DATSUN I could, and given it's so light with the engine that I've stuck in it, you know, it's absolutely crazy engine for the weight of this car. So I kind of wanted to try and emphasise on speed to get something fun that was enjoyable to drive, that also had a bit of character. really hammering it around the circuit and giving it everything I've got in this little beast. And then we're into that final straight, and I'll jump to the next part of the video, which will be me driving that Mazda RX3. Let's see what that does. Okay, so I tuned up a Mazda RX3 B-Class. Normally something I leave in E, to be honest, this car, but it is quite a good car to take up through the classes. It's quite a good little handling car, and it has been a leaderboard car. I've noticed quite a lot in some of these rivals as well. Now the chap that I'm racing against, my rival Challenger, is also driving the Mazda RX3 as well. So the next guy I've got to beat. So let's see, I've overtaken him already. It's all a matter of whether I can hold this thing on these corners. It's definitely a lot cleaner through the corners than that Datsun 2000. Not as much screech, and didn't slide out either. I'm going to keep this deliberately in a higher gear through this section, because I know this car will kick it. Yeah, I thought it was going to do that. I figured it would kick out. If I was in a lower gear there, that would have caused me big problems. The higher gear allowed me to regain traction quickly, so that wasn't a bad move after all. So into the next section. And so far so good. Definitely better on the handling than that Datsun 2000, this car. Speed is pretty respectable as well. Seems about similar speed really. It just feels easier to drive. It feels safer to drive, if you like, than the Datsun 2000. Datsun 2000 was just so lively. This thing has got life, trust me. It's just not quite as on the edge as that Datsun 2000 was. I think probably because the weight of the Datsun 2000 is lighter than this particular car, and that's why it just feels that way. So nice exit out of that corner there, managed to even keep it in the third, look, into fourth, and we're going into the big straight. I wonder what the top speed on this thing is going to be. 30, 40. I've got 155 in that Datsun. It's quite a slow climb here, so we're going to 150, 7, 8, 9, 60. Got up to 160 there, so it's a little bit quicker on some of the straights. So a little bit more top end into this corner. Took that absolutely lovely. Excellent. And then we're coming up to that final straight, and we'll see what time I pull in and where else I can jump in the leaderboards. Definitely a better time. Beat my rival with a good lead here. So let's see how we do. Okay, so I pulled in a 2:31.943. So that was a good, what was that? Just over 4 seconds improvement on my third lap with that Datsun 2000, and that takes me into the top 34%. So that 2:31.943 put me in 914th in the world for Battle of Bathurst at the moment, and that's out of 2,715 drivers now. So there's been an additional 18 drivers since I started this particular event. I'm sure that will increase over time, but that was quite a fun old race, that, and it's these two little cars that both, I think they're from E class, maybe one of them's from D, I can't remember, but you know, much lower spec class, doing pretty well in the B class rivals event. So I'm in the top 1,000, which I'm quite happy with. However, I think I'll be returning to this. Maybe next week you'll see another post from me for this particular rivals event. In fact, I think I pretty much will. So part 2 to come, and I'll have a think about what cars I can take to the track. I'm thinking immediately something like an F355 Ferrari or something. I might go for something that more suits the class and see how that goes versus these, you know, much lower spec cars that I've kind of, you know, put into a B class configuration from E or D. We'll see, we'll see. I'll definitely drive something closer to the range of the class of this car, and or this particular class I should say, and then go from there. So this Mazda RX3 handled that really, really nicely in his corner sections. There was just that bit uphill which I had a feeling it was going to kick out on me, so I did deliberately leave the high gearing. but everywhere else it pretty much behaved pretty good. And we got 160 out of this straight, which was a good 5 miles an hour faster than that Datsun 2000 was able to get top speed. So it's, you know, slightly faster on the straights. Probably not as quick as accelerating, but because it's got more handling capability, it didn't skid as much getting out of that initial start from acceleration. So I think that's where it came to kind of, you know, overtook that Datsun 2000. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will be back with more Battle of Bathurst next week. Please remember to rate and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to click that sub button anytime. Take care, keep watching, and I hope to see you soon.